Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 70, Facility of Fabric. To briefly recap last episode, we had finally tiled up the vast majority of our base, save for the slave quarters. We built 2 reliquaries in our ritual room to improve the benefits of holding rituals there. We sterilized, tiled our wonderful research room, and then we started working on another farm. Right at the end of the episode, I got attacked by mech hive, and that's what I'm going to attend to now. Taking a quick look, Kadath and Shay are way exposed. So first things first, the wolves will be restricted to their barn, and then the slaves are going to be assigned inside. But I think I'm going to have Tombolo go grab the shield belt so that he can tank. We did make that legendary shield belt. I might as well use it. So I'm going to be heading towards Kadath to try to keep him safe. And inside these pods are Scyther. All Scythers. 13 Scythers. That shouldn't be actually all that hard. I just have to spot them in time. So there's one here heading towards Sven, Trustin, and No Luck. I'll have them rendezvous to a common point. Now the other thing with Scythers is they're very likely to attack the turrets out here. Because I don't have a unified kill box, they like to destroy things that are not behind walls, like wind, solar, turrets, lights, etc. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to address, is to make sure that they don't do a whole lot of construction damage to the base. Next closest, maybe this one. Yeah, maybe that one. It's hard to kind of spot them in this thick forest. This also means that Tombolo here does not need the shield belt, but I can leave it on him anyway, because it doesn't hurt for my slaves to be able to tank shots. But obviously a shield belt does nothing for the brawling Scythers. Not sure why these Scythers came to a halt, but our very high-powered rifles should quickly shred them in no time, and if they get too close, Psycasts are easy to use. Kadath is inside safe and sound. Mousing over the attack, we do have Scythers down here that are quite likely going to attack these turrets anyway, so I might as well turn them on. And then what I could do is juggle them by turning them on and off and having the Scythers have to get bounced around to new targets. But this turret might not fare well in this fight, we'll see. There we go. Turn this one off, and this one on. And as long as I offer myself up as a valid target, it should encourage the Scythers to come to me. And that seems to be happening. Do we only have 3 left? Nope, we have more. We have 1 down by the Grand Architect structure, and 1 coming from the southeast trying to gank me that way. Copy that. And I believe that was the... oh, second to last one. Apologies. Almost done, though. And this one, because I'm not close by, it's going to choose me as a target. But now with Zleb in range, it will back off of the turret and attack me instead. And we're done. Slaves and wolves back to their original hauling schedule. And that's how to very effectively defend against a Scyther attack. So I would like to finish up this solar panel. Right now, my batteries are full, but the one out here is not generating power for me until the one south of it is actually connected. And then to get the farm built and sown. Once I have that set up, one of the things I might do is to slightly rework this prison here. But then after reworking the prison, we do have the potential to add up to 6 prisoners to our colony. I don't think that all 6 ancient soldiers are going to live. In fact, there's a chance that none of the people in those cryptosleep pods are even alive. Now, I did get a comment from Legnus, which said maybe connecting these farms together in a corridor is going to be more efficient than having them separated. And I'm likely to agree with that. So I'm going to start redesigning the corridor of farming for that purpose. Which means changing the position of the prison walls. So I'm going to cut these trees down so that I have a little bit more wiggle room to build. And we'll get working on that next. Now, slave clothing here does allow shield belts, so I'm not really sure why Shay or Tombolo hadn't actually used a shield belt up until that point. Probably just hadn't. Oh, he's taking it off. Oh, I know why. I know why. Because they're told never to use legendary. And you know what? I agree with that. I actually don't want them to use legendary. So, in the machining table here, I'm going to not include legendary belts so that we keep making more. Okay, that's the new solar panel, of course. I also have quite the growing horse population. And it might be time for me to gift these out or send them away. Because they're not really doing much for me. I don't really need the hauling that they provide. Which means all that they're really functionally doing is causing me to feed them. Which is labor intensive. It appears to me like we are out of limestone. So the limestone block queue needs to be addressed. And Shay and Tombolo will be cutting stone for that purpose. And there we go. Now we have 2 different battery networks. As you can see, they connect and disconnect via these switches. So if I have a feedback event where it blows out the power in one set of batteries, I can always just plug in the other. I didn't realize I put this many skull spikes in the stables, but I guess it really gets the message across. It's funny, I hadn't noticed that. Once these trees are trimmed, I will rework the farms just a little and to get them sown. Devil Strand has been researched. And next, maybe prosthetics. Or hospital bed. I'm going to go with hospital bed first. I do now have a nice sterilized laboratory, and a hospital bed with vitals monitors would be an excellent addition to that. All of that wondrous amount of textiles I got from the last installation I went to really needs to start to get processed into clothing. I have too much of it. Alright, so now we have a new set of outer walls. And the reason for this will make a bit more sense once I am done. Another thing I might want to tailor up is a toque for Shay. We're obviously heading into deep and cold winter, and she's going to have a hard time staying not hypothermic unless I make her a toque. There she goes. Toque for you. I'll even force her to wear it. Oh boy, a meteorite of limestone. How close was it? Oh, nearly landing on Evil Runner. Suppose I got lucky it didn't hit me? I'm actually going to choose to change the flooring in here on purpose. It is a prison after all. Shouldn't have the nice limestone tiled floors, but instead look considerably uglier, if I can help it. Ugly on purpose. So the slaves here are sleeping in nearly frozen temperatures. That's something I might want to fix. Not really to be kind, but to make sure that they don't become hypothermic and then require hospitalization. So the idea here is to push the little prison back just a little bit for more wiggle room. Moving those beds. To have it situated roughly here, where there's a path and wall. Oh, something big happening. Hospitality for a friend. No, I'm not hosting Go-Go-Trone for so little reward. Get out of here. So down here, the way this will look is we will have a plasteel door accessing the prison, just like before. That hasn't changed. And then the two farms are going to connect to one another, so that the heaters work a bit more efficiently. So the concept here will be that, let me nudge out the butchery that we have. Stick a door here to a corridor between both farms. And then move the heaters and the like so that they're not in the way, so that we can move between the farms freely. Keeping them far enough apart that blight can't easily spread between them, though. So the increased butchery zone will allow us to store some things in here. Some corpses to be butchered. And then that allows us to have a central location for all the heaters. Of course, the lights still need to be plugged in where they are, because if you want to illuminate your entire farm, you can't stick all your lights in one spot. Kind of obvious. And now with all this set up, we should slowly see the temperatures in the room rise. And then everything left that I have not yet paved will become paved tile. And you can see Bunny immediately starting on that. Now, one of the things I wanted to plant was heal root, because I really don't have a lot of meds on me at the moment. So we'll get that sown. And taking a look at my batteries here, I am generating enough power to keep the 2 sun lamps on, so that doesn't seem to be an issue, which is great. And the 4 heaters are having no problem keeping the room temperate. So in the prison that we have, I will stick a few stools so that they can eat. And we just finished hospital bed. Let's go for vitals monitor. And then what we need to do is to update the home zone to include the new structure. Like that. Removing the roof where it's not necessary. Done. Building the roof where it is necessary. And now we have 2 farms. Well, looks like we just got a whole lot more beer. Yeah, we did. That's a lot of beer. No Luck is nearly done smelting everything. There was not a single weapon in the entire colony that I wanted to keep. So I didn't really care if I smelted them all. And then that leaves Trustin to go back to making dusters. And then No Luck eventually going back to art as well. Trying to phase out some of the wooden sculptures that we have for stone ones. Ideally. With all of this sort of reworked into one larger farm and a prison just waiting for prisoners, I think it's about time that we make an effort to open up these caskets tomorrow when it is light out. And I'm going to move the skull spikes that were in the barn. Oh. Yes, I also have to update the wolf haulers zone. Because the evil runner is completely not where he ought to be. I hadn't updated it since the new addition to the base. And then I should also update the inside zone as well. Now that I have changed the layout, I can also include the horse stable and the wolf corpse barn into the inside zones because they're accessible from inside through this door. But I don't think I'm going to update that anyway, because I don't think it's necessary during a lockdown event for us to travel into there. Unless they're sick, and if that's the case, I can do it manually. Now, we did get hospital beds, and I think it prudent to utilize them. The only issue is that I might want to move this wall out a bit so that there's more space for them. So that's the next little mini project. At this point, we have a pretty decent amount of blocks, so I'm going to stick the slaves back on cleaning. The base gets very filthy very quickly, and without constant work to clean it, it becomes a problem. And my horses are starting to become hungry. So that is easily solved, but annoyingly solved, which would be to stick meals for them to eat on like a shelf or something. So I'll get that done in a minute. But I moved these batteries down here so that I could hook myself up with a biofuel refinery up in this corner. Try to figure out exactly how I want to lay it out. Let's move the vanometric power cell to this part of the hallway. And then I'll set up the biofuel refinery here. And we're doing that in order to get chem fuel so that I can pod the horses as gifts to the tribe that I need to ally. They're fully grown, so they should be worth a whole bunch. Now, the priority of this zone is important, so the priority of this zone is going to be critical. That's going to allow us to move these meals for the horses to be able to eat. All right, this prison barracks seems to be ready. And let's go ahead. Shay is wearing a shield belt. As soon as Trustin makes another shield belt, I'm going to bring Tombolo, Shay, and the colonists down here. I want the shield belts first in case those ancients have ranged weapons, because I don't really want to be shot by them. And a masterwork, so that will be Tombolo's shield belt. Yeah, these horses are eating everything. Alright, with that worn, let's get to it. Now, I did mention previously, but I am not going to over-engineer this. I am not going to try to make it so that I maximize my prisoners. I will try to minimize the amount of shooting I do if the ancient soldiers look good. But I'm not here to pamper them with a perfect opening where they get gently heated until they join. It's not what I'm interested in doing. So, Zleb, let's have you open fire on one of the pods. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all alive. They're all starting to shoot at us. So let's see if any of them are decent. A chemical interest? Probably not. Annoying voice? Probably not. Quick sleeper, slowpoke, and kind? We're getting there, but not a lot of plants skill. A misogynist brawler that has a passion in plants. body modder psychopath who loves to farm. This Speedy here might be a winner. He's also just wearing flak pants, so interesting look. And then the last one is also not so much a winner. So in order to ensure that Speedy joins over others, let's go ahead and drop a barf bomb on them. We're gonna need Bunny or... Here, let's do it like this. Move over here before Speedy dies. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lead them out so that they have to come out to me, and then I could separate them out and isolate the ones I want to recruit and kill the ones, pretty much all the others. As you can see, they're all vomiting now, or almost all of them. Here we go. Here's Kate. And Kate, it would be best if you collapsed, so I could strip off your armor. Nope. I can still smelt her armor, though. Here comes more. And Speedy's the one we want. So, I'm going to isolate Speedy for melees and shoot the others. Nope, Speedy got punched to death as well. Well, they're all dead. Oh, and one of them was Tombolo's daughter, Scarlet, that we just murdered. Who murdered her? Which one is Scarlet? So here's Scarlet, and Sven killed Scarlet. Well, that's not exactly how I wanted it to go, but ultimately, I come away unscathed. I, of course, don't count prisoner injuries as things to care about. And the ancient danger is cleared. All in a day's work. I'm also going to strip off the armor, the marine armor, and whatever else will smelt to plasteel off of them. The recon armor, maybe, if they have any. There we go. Done and done. Just some bruising. Nothing more. So one of the things I could do for Tombolo, which would be kind, oddly, is to counsel him about the death of his daughter. And this isn't exactly to be kind. It's to try to make it so that he doesn't have a mental break so that he keeps working. Think of it as like evil corporatist. Sorry, you don't get any work leave from the death of a family member. Keep working. All right, we are patching him up. And eventually, the wolves and haulers will haul this out, and I'll just have to flag those specific bodies with armor to be smelted. So I tried with Speedy, but unfortunately the bruises left him dead from punching. We did shoot him twice, but that's not what killed him. It was my slaves punching him. All right, now we have a lot more room to work with for hospital beds. It's kind of a strange building, I know. Very odd shaped. But it will work. Oh, evil runner. Got bruised fighting deer. So there we go. One masterwork and the other one, hopefully, masterwork. Perfect. 2 masterwork beds, and we're still researching the vitals monitor, but this will, of course, help with immunity gain, speed, and surgery success chance. And then there's room for additional beds if I need them. I will also need to update the home zone to include this wall, and then the inside zone to include this section as well. Secret compound investigation. All right, so this is send 4 colonists out to the investigation, and there's yet another investigation, the Dusty installation, so I'll accept this one. And let's look at it at the planet to figure out where it is, because it seems like I'm gonna get the relic pretty soon. So here is one info, and this is just a default one. So I think in the morning what I will accept, well, it is the morning, I'll accept the new available one, which sends 4 of my colonists out. And I'm going to do what I did last time, which is to send everybody but Sven, even though he's the best hacker. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll send Sven, but leave Zleb behind. Zleb can't really construct, so he is the weakest of the 4 in one of these compounds. And I'll wait for No Luck to wake up and eat. I might actually just wake up No Luck. Okay. So Zleb, despite being our best shooter, is going to stick behind, because Zleb can't really deconstruct the facility once it's done. Doesn't look too large, and also I can already see one of the terminals glowing through the wall. So Sven's obviously going to be the best hacker here. So I'll get him started. And we found yet another terminal. Let's keep going. There's quite a lot of material here to grab. Lots of fabric flooring and the like. And that's actually why I left, you know, Zleb behind, is to maximize profit from this. Oh man, it is carpeted all over. It's like a 70s corporate building. Wall-to-wall carpets. And mechanoids and insectoids laying next to one another. Okay, interesting. Trying to give them a rude awakening. Trust didn't pop that open for me, so I can outmaneuver the Lancer. Or not. Oops. Chaos skip. hit my armor. Alright, Lancer's gone. And my armor took the hit. As it is designed. Alright, at this point, let's keep clearing the facility without Sven, because we don't need Sven necessarily. There's yet another terminal. Man, this one's easy, but it is full of resources. A fuel pod, or fuel node. And that is going to be a huge fire because it is yet again in a carpet room. And unfortunately, these bugs are going to come messing with me. Ow. Let's get him put off. Don't touch me. I'll leave you bleeding there. So let's start fighting these fires so that we can actually recover as much carpet as we can. Also fighting the fires so that the terminals don't get destroyed or anything like that. And Sven, go join them. Do you have water skip? You don't. I don't believe that Bunny has water skip either. Oh, she does. Alright, well that gave us a good head start on fighting this fire. And then we have 2 ancient soldiers that will need addressing here in a second. Almost done. Oh, Luciferium. Well, you look at that. Sven, let's hit the rest of the... Actually, before we hit the terminals, let's go ahead and just trigger these soldiers. Alright, that one's dead. Easy peasy. And that one's dead. And I'm going to strip her armor off. Sven, go hack. And then everybody else, you're going to have a heck of a job removing a massive amount of carpet. How are we doing over here? Nice. These mega scarabs are actually dying due to the hypothermia. Oh, and we have an infestation right where I hacked last. So no luck, pop this wall open and prepare to fire. Oh, it's a pretty sizable infestation too. It's no slouch. Nothing our colonists can't handle though. The hard snow in the dark definitely makes accuracy more difficult to achieve, but I think we'll be just fine. I wish the insects would come straight at me. They're running all about, which makes it kind of annoying to go hunt them. We also have the Vema Alliance coming in from behind. There is 11 of them with bows. Not exactly a hit squad or anything like that. And I think I am going to move myself through the facility, trying to put bugs between me and them, just because I'm lazy and I don't have to do all the clearing myself. In fact, No Luck's going to stop here for a snack break. Just consume it. Frog, don't interrupt snack time. You should know better. And just guerrilla tactics to isolate and eliminate these tribals. Pretty easy to do, because they're slow and stupid. Don't throw that at me. Get out of here. Just kidding. Hello. I'm back. And they're dead. Oh, I got some herbal meds out of it. Alright. The tribals didn't really actually do a very good job at clearing the insects, so I'm going to have to do that myself. Wow. Holy moly. I think all that's left as a threat is this mega spider. No, there's also a mega scarab which is suffering from hypothermic slowdown, and it will be an ice cube pretty soon. All right, the zone is now safe, so we're back to just stripping up flooring to bring those materials home. Oh, also, let's remove the home zone, because we definitely don't need to be cleaning it. So we'll continue this work in the morning, after they get a little bit of sleep. Sven is starting to become hypothermic, which is a bit of a concern. Actually, a few of us are. So one thing I could do is... You know, there really aren't materials to heal or to warm up. Oh boy. A bunch of my horses just got the plague. Gross. It's negative 66 Fahrenheit, so I think what I'll do is I'll just try to strip as much flooring up as I can until I become dangerously hypothermic, and then just bounce. As soon as this hits serious, if it does hit serious, I'll just leave. And these two are going to be told not to meditate right now. Looks like we're probably going to be able to get the vast majority of the flooring before we have to go. No Luck's not happy about this. Okay. That's good enough. Set to load. 1900. Almost 2000. And then we also want the joy wire. Recon armor. Gold, silver. Lancer and pikeman, why not? And then the steel things to break down. I guess the weapons. That's good enough. Yet another successful compound quest. Shuttled all back home for our benefit. And that, my friends, is all the time I have. Thank you for tuning in to episode 70 of the Archotechs Facility of Fabric. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to join my gaming community, the description of this video have a link to Discord, as does Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.